WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 5.
6 News is your local election headquarters, and today Mid-Michiganders are heading to the polls to vote on a number of local races and millages. It's our top story at 5. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jorma Duran. Across mid-Michigan and across the country, people are heading to the polls in this off-year election in what could be a preview to the midterms next year in some areas of the U.S. Here in mid-Michigan, polls will stay open until 8 this evening. As a reminder, if you're voting absentee, you need to have your ballot in by the time polls close for your vote to count. Now, here locally, voters will decide on a few candidate races that start in Lansing. Voters there will decide on their next mayor, as well as city council at-large and city council members for the 2nd and 4th wards. Voters in Hillsdale will also choose a mayor. In East Lansing, voters will decide on 2 spots for city council, and in Jackson, voters there will pick city council candidates to represent wards 1, 3, and 5. We have team coverage for you this evening, and we begin in Jackson, where Sean Graney gives us a look at what's on the ballot there.
Fixing roads has been one of the biggest concerns for voters across Jackson County. The new proposed road millage aims to tackle that problem head on, and officials say the new funding would give local crews the tools to finally catch up.
So what this would do, it would fund an ongoing maintenance program so we don't let the streets get behind and start getting potholes again. Now, we wanted to keep the roads, in the great condition they're in now. And these are just the secondary roads. The primary roads are the main streets. The county maintains them there, do all the work there. But the neighborhood streets, the local streets, are what we have to pay 70% of the cost.
Now, each ward has a polling location open for voters, and with polls closing at 8, there's still time to cast your ballot right now. All right, well, we continue our team coverage in Lansing, where there are several races on the ballot. Rachel Ramsey is live outside of the new Lansing Elections Office. Rachel, how has the turnout been so far today?
Well, Jorma, like you just mentioned, the polls close tonight at 8 p.m., so there is still time to get your vote in. I just spoke with Lansing City Clerk Chris Swope, who says as of 3 p.m., 2,400 people have come in to vote. He says that's a pretty good turnout for a mayoral election. On top of the 2,400 voters today, Swope says the city has received 13,000 absentee ballots so far, and I've seen around a dozen people dropping ballots off since I've been out here, and I'm told a little more than 230 people voted early. Swope reminds people that local government affects your everyday life, so make your voice heard.
If you want your sidewalks done, if you want to make sure there's police on the streets, all those things that the mayor and the city council make direct decisions about that directly impact your everyday life. I mean, everything. Do we have a noise ordinance? Is it stronger? Almost anything you can think of. There's a direct impact to you from your local government. So please get out and vote.
And when it comes to absentee ballots, those can still be turned in until 8 p.m. tonight. If you lost your absentee ballot, don't worry, you can still vote in person. Just let officials know and they will help you out. Here for you live in Lansing, Rachel Ramsey, 6 News.
Rachel, thank you very much. Nationally, some of the most closely watched races include the battle to be the next mayor of New York City, the Virginia and New Jersey governor races, and a proposition in California that would allow for congressional redistricting in the state. Erica Brown is here for you now with more from the campaign trail.
Zohran Mamdani, a self-proclaimed Democratic socialist, cast his ballot Tuesday, hoping to become the next mayor of New York City.
It is time now for a new day in our politics.
Mamdani is facing former Governor Andrew Cuomo, a Democrat running as an independent, and Republican Curtis Sliwa. President Trump is telling New Yorkers to back Cuomo, writing on social media, quote, "You really have no choice."
The president does not support me. The president opposes Zohran Mamdani.
In a tight race for New Jersey governor, voters are choosing between Democratic Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill and Republican Jack Ciattarelli.
It doesn't matter if it's national or local. Every decision that these politicians make affects at some point. It trickles down to your own homes.
Here in Virginia, voters are also deciding on their next governor, another early test for both political parties and President Trump ahead of next year's midterm elections.
There's so many things at stake.
Former Democratic Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger is facing off against Republican Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears in Virginia's governor's race, with the government layoffs top of mind for some voters.
Especially as we head into the holiday season with people who are still out of work, I think we'll see something today.
President Trump encouraged Virginians to vote Republican, but he did not formally endorse Earl Sears, his party's candidate for governor. Erica Brown, CBS News, Alexandria, Virginia.
And be sure to stay with 6 News on air, online, and through our 6 News app for the latest on the elections. As the government shutdown continues to grind on, members of Protect My Care are again urging Congress to protect affordable health coverage for Michigan families. Members held a media roundtable today to highlight what's at stake for Michigan families if Congress fails to renew the Enhanced Advanced Premium Tax Credits, which have made Affordable Care Act marketplace coverage affordable for thousands of Michiganders.
We want to make sure that we're bringing it back to affordability, because in our country, our healthcare system is dependent on affordability. And we know that the tax credits are an important way to make sure that people have access to care. And if they don't have insurance, there's all kinds of data out there that people delay care, they seek care when it becomes their chronic condition becomes unmanageable.
Organizers say that without renewal, many people could see their premiums double or even higher.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We've been talking about snowfall for several days now, potentially on Sunday and Monday. Sun has expanded a little bit, but this is not really all that abnormal for this time of the year. Our average first snowfall dates are typically across the mid-Michigan area. I mean, there's parts of the country that certainly get theirs in October. In fact, the UP does. But here in mid-Michigan, we typically look towards early to mid, sometimes late November before we get our first flakes of snow. So this is kind of right on track as far as where we should be. Impacts from any snowfall this weekend, Sunday and Monday, should be minimal. It's not going to be a big deal for us. In fact, I'd be honestly pretty shocked if we get anything on the ground at all, because ground temperatures are warm and air temperatures will be warming above freezing as well. So no major travel impacts for the late weekend. High temperature trend, though, it is going to be cold. Look for high temperatures by Sunday in the upper 30s, mid 30s for highs on Monday, before a slight warming trend late next week and next weekend. Until then, though, we've got some mild weather to look forward to. Our satellite and radar shows some sprinkles and light rain showers to our north, quiet but cloudy here across mid-Michigan. So we look at precision cast through the overnight hours. There goes the rainfall. For us, the system's going to do two things. One, it's going to really crank the wind up tomorrow, gusts between 30 and 40 fairly easily, especially during the midday and late afternoon hours. It's also going to mean a midday high, temperatures upper 50s by around lunchtime or so, and then slowly falling through the rest of the afternoon as that cold front clears to the east. Moving ahead into Thursday, quiet weather with some sunshine to start the day, but by day's end, clouds will begin to increase from the west, and the next in a series of cold fronts begins to move through. This is the one that's going to really drop temperatures as we get into our weekend. Temperatures currently 54 in St. John's, 55 in Howell, lower 50s Ann Arbor. To the south and east, Hillsdale at 55 degrees at the airport. On our St. John's cam, we've got cloudy skies and 54 degrees, humidity 57%. Not a lot of wind on the St. John's cam today. Meanwhile, on the Capitol cam, just a hint of sunshine out there, but generally cloudy skies. 54 is our current temperature, the peak wind of 22 miles per hour. In Grand Ledge, again, a little bit of sunshine on the horizon, but overall just cloudy skies. Meanwhile, in Jackson, could be an interesting sunset with the sun trying to poke through there. Current temperature in Jackson sitting at 54 with our wind gusts today up to 22 miles per hour. Final stop in Hillsdale. Cloud cover continues. Our temperature 55 and our wind gusts today only 14 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast, low temperature 44 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Then for tomorrow, we'll have a mix of clouds and sun, but more clouds than sun. Temperatures tomorrow only topping out in the upper 50s, winds 15 to 25, but gusting between 30 and 40, again, maybe even a little bit more than that. The 6-day forecast, Friday, more rain showers in the morning hours, Saturday, cloud cover. Sunday and Monday, snow showers, high temperatures in the 30s, overnight lows below freezing. The 6+6-day forecast will get rid of the snow showers and bring back the really not so warm, but warmer, I suppose, weather by next weekend with 50s on the way.
I don't know why in my mind when you said that. That's right. He said snow. That's right. You heard it right.
I'm not taking it back now.
It's too late. We appreciate it.